Right. Well, there are interesting topics to talk about, though, that Belizeans do care about.
Yeah, like what, COVID-19 again?
Nah. You know what? I want to talk about land today.
Oh yeah, the land distribution in Belize. That's a very
Accessibility, distribution,
Right.
using it as a pawn.
Right,
You
right.
name it.
right. You know, most Belizeans are saying that the land situation is a right. How you feel about that?
It's not. You know, I did hear some Belizeans saying that, but there's no way that said that it's a right. But it should be accessible, though.
Yeah, it
And-
should. I mean, of course. I mean, you should have a right to vote, a right to choose whatever religion, but a right to the land that's nowhere in no UN or in the Bill of Rights that says that.
Nah.
But you're right. I mean, we should have accessibility and makes it affordable for the people who, especially the people who been doing the most for Belize from day one, since Belize was an independent country and still haven't got a piece of that pie, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And recently we've had an advocate for trying to get our Belizeans land.
Yeah,
in Belize.
yeah. My man out there in Bilmapana, Mr. Nigel Patella, man. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of like what he was, his vibe and what he was on to start out with, trying to get Belizeans aware. I mean, some of his approach out didn't fully agree with, but I like his
Yeah.
new approach that he's on now, where
So what's the new approach? I'm familiar with what he was doing before. I wasn't really on board with that. So
Yeah,
what,
man.
what has he changed?
Man, I mean,
to be more effective?
I mean, what he's changing is he actually went out and looked at some land that he can acquire, and he's trying to, raise money to acquire the land so that it can be divided up amongst each other. And I think that's a super look, and I will support somebody that all day, man. I think Belizeans really need to put their ones together and get with my man and get paperwork, documentation signed, and move forward in this direction if they're real serious about land. I mean, stop. I mean, I'm kind of getting tired of Belizean thinking that the only way they can acquire a piece of land is to attach themselves to a particular politician or particular party, which is kind of
Right.
dumb. You know what I'm saying? I think land should be accessible to pretty much all Belizeans until all Belizeans understand that we as the people can change the policies and how does the country go. Then I think land would be a more equitable thing for everybody. You know what I mean? Well, countrywide.
Yeah, because that is one of the issues that I've always had with people and land in Belize.
Right.
People always want to sit back and just depend on a politician to give it to them. And one of the things when they talk about it's a right to own land anywhere,
Right.
yes, it's you should be able to purchase land anywhere.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's
just
not-
this idea that
right.
I have to vote for somebody because
That's
there's a
not- that make
whole
no
lot
sense.
of drama that get involved with that.
And that's what I'm saying. And people that, like I said, the people that need to understand, they have that power to decide whether or not they'll get, they can, if they want to acquire a piece of land. They just got to organize. But for some reason, they feel like the only way they can organize is behind a politician.
Right. So what Mr. Nigel is doing is he's asking people to pool together.
Yeah, he asking the public to pull together to generate some funds. I think he's the amount is about 15 to 20 grand Belize dollars, which is not a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they can go ahead and purchase the property and divide
Okay.
it up, or plots of land amongst the Belizean, which makes a lot of sense. As far as the legality and how the legal part of it will work out,
Right.
that's for the lawyers and so forth to actually sit down and work that out. But it's a great idea, and I think Belizeans need to get behind it.
Yeah, I love it as compared to what has been going on recently, where there's a little rift in between
Oh yeah.
the people from Mesopotamia and
The
the
people-
villagers of Sand Hill, where there's an issue there with
With
some
the
land
as well. But there's an issue because of politics, and it's not an issue with the people. And I think that's where politicians use wedge issues all the time to have people talk by each other, and that's why I was saying they people need to start understand we have common interests.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And one of the common interests everyone in Belize has is land.
Right.
So there should never be a situation where Belizeans as a whole are divided on who should get land or where land should be distributed. The problem is when you add politics to the mix, their only goal, it seems like, is to have people, again, talk past each other, and there's a divide and conquer strategy. And whenever that happens, man, it's only a slice of the population gets a little piece of the land,
Correct.
and the mass majority don't get anything. And again, it starts another rift between us versus them.
Right.
We need to get away from that nonsense because, again, if we will just go ahead and work together to get what we all want, which is the same common interest, we can overcome this issue with land.
I just wish that the politicians would see it that way. And
They will
try
never
to-
see it that way, because in order for them to get votes and be seen as doing something, they got to be, divide and conquer.
But they can also get votes with giving people the opportunity to own the land, like make some amendments to the laws or whatever to make it easier for people to own the land rather than trying
Right.
to give land away.
that's the solution, is to
people.
change the laws and to change the cost, to make it cost effective for people who are, not
Regular
just
Belizeans.
average Belizeans,
Right.
working class Belizeans.
Working
But they're
class.
not interested in that. They're interested in, again, in the divide and conquer. Hence the reason why we are talking about this issue right now, because again, you're from the Sand Hill area,
Correct.
and people know that
I'm from Sand Hill, not
yeah.
the area.
You're from Sand Hill.
So
And I'm from
Sand Hill.
Mesopotamia, man.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I was raised in that area when I was in Belize. And I know the people in Mesopotamia are very good, hardworking people, man. You know what I mean? I think there's a misconception that's going around, which is why I think there's a rift in Sand Hill, because they're thinking that, well, the Mesopotamia people are just coming in and we are bad folks, and you're judging
Well,
pretty much, you have a preconceived notion on people from Mesopotamia, you know what I mean? That means, I feel like you're judging us based on our worst instead of our best.
No. See, we've had experience in this area. There have been different areas of Sand Hill before that they have made it available to people from outside the village.
Uh-huh.
And every time that happens, we do see some problems coming in. But I don't think that is the position that the council is taking with regards to this land. The thing is that there are a lot of Sand Hill people who live there,
Right.
who don't have access to
And
it.
that's my point I was trying to make. My point is, so why don't the village council in Sand Hill and the folks, the leaders in Mesopotamia, just decide, just
Work
team up
together.
to work together and see what we can work out for the people of Belize?
And the answer is easy.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a divide in politics.
And then that's what I'm saying. We ain't scrap that, man. Because at the end of the day, we don't. What if you don't vote for any of these guys? What if you don't even support these guys? You're still a Belizean. You still, you're still supposed to have the same accessibility to acquire land as if the ones who are supporting these guys. And that's what I'm saying about the divide and conquer strategy. Is like, we got to learn how to work together rather than work against each other. And again, the strategies these politicians use is to work against each other, man. And we got to understand that as Belizean people. Everyone, I mean, literally everybody should have the same accessibility to get land. Land should not be somewhere it's out of reach for a typical Belizean. Everyone needs to be able to buy into the Belizean dream, own a piece of land, and own in their own home.
Correct.
But once you add politics to the situation, that's when things always seem to go haywire.
Yeah, because the reality is you're the same people in Mesopotamia, right?
Mhm.
If they're not voting for this particular person who is advocating for the land, do you think they're going to get a piece of land?
No, they're not. That's my point. They're not going to get the land, and vice versa in Sand Hill. The people who are not supporting the candidate out there in Sand Hill, it will be the same thing. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. Like, yo, we're Belizean, man. Stop this nonsense. We are Belizean. Let me tell you something. There's enough land to go around in Belize. There are land that are being held up right now by a bunch of people who haven't paid taxes from the time probably we became an independent country, and they still have these lands. Why haven't the government went back and confiscate these lands and divide these lands up to the people in Belize?
Or that's a way to get some money for the economy to get people to actually
pay
pay their taxes.
In addition to that, there are a bunch of illegals
Yes, sir.
that come into, and again, these illegals are not Belizeans in a form of
Correct.
fashion.
They're squatters.
And you cannot go to no other country in the world. I mean, literally no other
None.
country in the world that you as a Belizean could go squat and just acquire land willy-nilly and they will just go give it to you. So why is it okay for that to happen in Belize?
It's not.
You know what I mean? There's a bunch of these people in Belize, come to Belize, squat for 5, 10, 15 years, have a bunch of kids, right? And then
Lay claim.
lay claim. Wait, they wait till election come around, run to the same politician for citizenship, and then say, hey, this their land and want that land. But a born Belizean don't have that same accessibility. And that's the problem that I have. I think people who are born and bred in Belize should be able to have that accessibility, should be able to have the opportunity to acquire land. It shouldn't be this difficult. So why is it that it's been this hard? Why is it that laws and the way we can acquire land haven't been rectified yet? I don't know.
And it's been generations of this. This is absolutely nothing new. That's the crazy part.